The market is green. Let's talk about why that's happening and what I'm doing with my portfolio. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Waj. We're back with the 0 to 6 figure portfolio series. We're currently at $36,538, up a whopping almost 20% over the last week. Green across the board, which is beautiful and what we want to see. If we look at the Bitcoin chart, I mean, this was pretty much what we talked about last week. You know, either we reclaim this area or we kind of go lower. And we did actually go a little bit lower before reclaiming. And a lot of it probably has been down to the German government. We talked about this. They have been aggressively dumping their Bitcoin. They don't have any left. They've got literally 0.007 Bitcoin. They've left a moon bag in case Bitcoin goes to $1 billion or something like that. But you can see very, very clearly, like, they have been dumping billions of dollars of Bitcoin. And yeah, it seems like this is over now. We also talked about Mt. Gox, and those distributions are happening right now. I do think that they will be sold. Perhaps some of this has also been priced in. Regardless, it's been great to see these great, lovely green candles over the last 5 days. And, you know, we've moved from mid-50s all the way to mid-60s now, which has been really good to see, and back into the range now. Where are we going to go from here? I'm not too sure. But generally, when I look at something like this and I look at perhaps this little deviation and kind of entering back into the range, I am thinking, you know, especially that we've tapped the EMA support, that things are going to generally look a little bit better. Especially when we look at some of the fundamentals behind it, with the German government now finished with their selling. We look at Mt. Gox, the distributions are happening now. Perhaps some of that is priced in my opinion. And of course, the Ethereum spot ETF, which is launching in exactly 7 days' time as of recording right now. And this is amazing. Now, because of this, I have actually been consolidating my portfolio. You can see this right now. If we look at all of the different assets that we have, I've basically got rid of some of the airdrops that we had, whether it's Mode, Friendtech, couple others, just consolidated. We've actually added some ETH here, really. We also managed to get the Say airdrop, and so this has kind of drastically reduced our average buy price, which has been pretty nice. Nice little bonus there. We're still down 20% on this position. Probably not. Probably I should have sold. You know, this went all the way to like over $1. But anyway, regardless, we've got a healthy amount of ETH, and we're doing very well with our ETH position. You know, we've been averaging down. We've been consolidating our airdrops in. We've been farming with our ETH. So yeah, ETH has been like the apex of my portfolio, and probably will always be because of that. There probably is some more consolidating that I am going to do, but what we're going to talk about is firstly the Ethereum ETF, some of the different plays around it and what I'm doing right now, and also some of the tokens as well that I'm looking to potentially add into the portfolio. So yeah, first of all, let's talk about what I've been doing recently. Well, I've been actually trading on Pair Protocol. Why? Because it's very, very easy to basically hedge yourself when you're basically longing strength and shorting weakness. You can see this so clearly with the Ton-matic chart, where basically from May and the entirety of June, this chart was up only. And like we can see that there's been some weakness with Ton now, and so probably you would have closed this position, but you could basically just replace this with like strength right now, and we can see that with stuff like Maker, which you know, has some pretty good strength. And so yeah, having a long position and a short position like this does make life a little bit easier, can hedge a little bit better, and in a choppy-ish market, I think this is one of the best ways to go about trading. And Pair also doesn't have a token. So yeah, that's pretty much why I've been using it. I will see if I've got a ref link somewhere. I'll put it in the description below. I'll get some extra bonuses if you use it, but if you don't want to use it, no worries whatsoever. Yeah, big fans. This actually routes through Vertex, not actually through Pair. Pair is just the front end. Yeah, they've got some new products coming out, which is with Intents, powered by Simio, which is what we've got some exposure to in the portfolio, and hopefully when this token comes out, this does very, very, very well because of that. So yeah, otherwise nothing else in the portfolio has changed. We've got some good exposure to AI, good exposure to ETH Beta with Butterfly, co-processors. We've got some stables, deep in Layer 2, and some other junk at the bottom, which probably I should get rid of. These are very small positions overall if we look at the overall portfolio. So things are generally looking a little bit better. I think part of it is, of course, the Ethereum ETF, which I think everyone is very excited about. And what we're seeing right now is actually a resurgence with the Ethereum ecosystem, particularly in some of the OG DeFi protocols. And we can look at this very clearly when we look at the Maker chart. Look at the strength that Maker has had just over the last few days from the after the first week of July. Maker putting in like some crazy green candles there. And one of the things that I'm looking at now are protocols or apps very similar to Maker. These are OG DeFi protocols that have pretty much all of their tokens in circulation. They're cash flow positive and have really stood the test of time. And there's two really that stick out to me. One of them is Aave, which is the leading money market in the space, and the other one is Lido. And you can see with Lido, like especially on the monthly chart, where it doesn't look anything like the Maker monthly chart. I do think that there's potentially some sort of catch-up trade here, and this is essentially what I am looking at right now as of recording. One of the reasons why I think this is because if we look at like the fees within all crypto apps, you can see that Lido, Aave and Maker are like consistently there when it comes to fees earned, daily, weekly, monthly and yearly. And look, Lido as a whole is generating just under $1 billion a year in revenue. Of course, this isn't profit for the Lido protocol. They take a small fee of this. I believe it's around 10%. Either way, we're talking about a protocol who's making $100 million plus a year. Aave and Maker similarly also absolutely printing at the moment. And I think because of this, these three are assets that I think potentially are getting a bit more attention, a bit more recognition. Now, DeFi has generally been a bit boring, dull, hasn't really caught a bid this cycle. And I do wonder whether or not we're approaching some sort of momentum shift. This cycle has all been about meme coins, about AI. I do wonder whether or not fundamentals, especially with the likes of Lido, Aave and Maker, are potentially getting a bit of a bid. And Lido is currently like the largest TVL app in the entire crypto space with $33 billion of TVL. They're actually absolutely miles ahead of all of the other LSTs. I mean, even if you added up all of the other LSTs here together, you wouldn't even reach half of what Lido has at the moment. So Lido's got a real monopoly. They also just released Symbiotic as well. These are the guys behind it. And so, yeah, there's some real positive fundamentals, in my opinion, when it comes to Lido. Just as there is with Maker and just as there is with Aave, I think all three are fundamentally very, very good. Now, all three of these are very cash flow positive. So potentially, is there a catch-up trade here with Lido? Lido's current market cap is around 1.6 billion. Maker's is actually almost double that with 2.9 billion. So I do wonder whether or not there is a little bit of a catch-up trade there. We can have a look at Aave as well, which I believe is a little bit lower than that, 1.7, pretty similar to that of Lido. And you can see here, look, the Lido chart is looking a little bit like the Maker one now, isn't it, with this TWAP, it seems like. So I think these three are interesting, and Lido is the one that is the most interesting to me at the moment. And I think I will look to get a short-term swing position here, especially when it comes to the Ethereum ETF. Now, we'll have to see what the ETF inflows are like. And I think I'm going to really change my bias depending on what they're like. So yeah, we're going to have to be quite reflexive there. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at right now. Otherwise, I'm not really looking to change the portfolio at the moment. There will be a variety of new coins coming out fairly soon. And so, yeah, we're going to be getting some more airdrops. We are going to be seeing some new rotations, I think, fairly soon. I think the market looks pretty healthy now, especially now that Bitcoin has basically reclaimed this area, held the EMA as support so far, because of course things can always change. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are. There is one other asset that I am thinking of potentially accumulating a little bit of, and that is called Quill or Quillibrium. This is a new blockchain, very, very complicated actually. In fact, I don't even believe they use the exact same technology as some of the other blockchains that we have today. Definitely one to get your head around. Go and have a read of this white paper. It is a little bit complicated. Our friends at Blockmates did actually do a very good analysis of this, so I'll try and leave that in the description below. If I don't, then just go to Blockmates and go and read their explainer video on Quill. But yeah, definitely one that's caught my attention at the moment, and I think is doing not amazing or anything like that, so there's still some opportunity opportunity potentially. It is just a low market cap as well, at just over 100 million too. So yeah, just another one there to keep an eye on. The other asset I should say is a low market cap coin called ValiDAO. These are a bunch of decentralized validators, and this is another very, very low market cap, less than 5 million actually. One that I potentially will be doing some research on and highlighting that to you. But yeah, these are just two coins on my radar at the moment. Not saying that I'm going to buy them, not saying that they are going to change the world or anything like that. There are still, of course, many risks and things that I need to also learn about before. But yeah, I thought I'd share with you guys just something that I'm interested in. No financial advice whatsoever. So overall, that's the portfolio. Let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, I'll be back again with plenty more content in the not so distant future.